Hey, so just 1 second before the video starts, YouTube now cares a lot about something called viewer satisfaction, which means likes and comments and that kind of thing. So apparently I'm supposed to ask you to leave a like on the video and comment something vaguely related to the topic because it'll help me out, I guess. So please do that. Okay, bye. You know, it's amazing to me how no one ever mentions that stuff from your childhood has not aged well. I mean, how has no one ever brought this up? Now, I've seen Hocus Pocus maybe 20 times in my life, okay? Growing up in the 90s and 2000s, it was on TV like every Halloween. Maybe it still is, I don't know, because like, who watches TV anymore? But all the same, 29 years after this movie, Disney is finally doing Hocus Pocus 2 for some reason. So I thought I would go back and check out the 1993 classic kids movie, Hocus Pocus. And let me tell you, okay, oh my goodness. I was not prepared for this movie. Have any of you watched this movie recently? Because it is not at all how my brain remembers it. Let me show you what I mean. So the movie starts out in 1693. We meet a strapping young man who realizes his sister is missing. And it maybe sorta kinda might have something to do with the coven of witch sisters living just down the road. And by witches, of course, they mean just like any single woman over 25. Anyway, so he goes off to save his sister from the evil spinsters.
Glorious morning. Makes me sick.
I mean, this is basically just me when I've been working on these videos for like 8 days straight and I hit that point where I'm just like, hey Alex, you almost done with the video? Sure is a nice day outside.
My darling. My little book. We must continue with our spell now that our little guest of honor has arrived.
You know, this girl is really chill about all this, by the way. OMG, there's gonna be like so many true crime podcasts about me after this. Literal dream come true right now. Now, long story short, the older brother guy tries to fight off the witches and save his sister, but he gets caught and the witches succeed in their spell to suck out the life force of the little girl, or whatever this is, and de-age themselves by like 50 years. So these are the Sanderson sisters. You have Winnie, Mary, and Sarah. And I'll tell you right now, okay, Sarah Jessica Parker in this movie, it's one of those pivotal spring awakenings for young Alex. Like, this is one of those moments when I was like, oh, yeah, I'm definitely into girls. I'm also pretty sure this movie kicked off my whole, like, disheveled girls with lots of eyeliner are super hot thing, which has definitely done me more harm than good over the years. But you know, now that I'm older watching this movie back, I gotta say, Bette Midler circa Hocus Pocus, she can get some. Anyway, so like I said, the boy is caught and they turn him into this black cat who's cursed to live forever because they said so.
Twist the bones and bend the back. Here to the cupboard to Malcolm.
But then, wouldn't you know, the rest of the town somehow finds out what they're getting up to, and they storm the house and take the sisters away to be hanged.
Winifred Sanderson,
Yes?
I will ask thee one final time.
Yes?
What hast thou done with my son, Thackeray?
Thackeray.
Wait, hold on. Thackeray? This dude's name is Thackeray? Although, okay, to be fair, I feel like in 2022 you could probably go into any kindergarten and there'd be at least 3 kids with that name. And then half the other kids are named like Pepto-Bismol or something. But whatever, anyway.
Fools! All of you! My ungodly book speaks to you. One All Hallows Eve, when the moon is around, a virgin will summon us from under the ground, and the lives of all the children shall be mine!
Jeez, Hocus Pocus, what? I mean, you just gonna show that in a kid's movie? That's kind of messed up. But yeah, so just before they were hanged, Winnie makes a prophecy that one Halloween, sometime in the future, a virgin will light the black flame candle and bring them back to life. And so now we hard cut to 1993, and we get to meet our main character, Max, who just moved from LA, California, all the way to Salem, Massachusetts. And let me tell you, he does not have time for all this magical witch nonsense, which ironically is like the least LA thing I've ever heard, but whatever.
That on Halloween night, a black cat still guards the old Sanderson house, warning off any who might make the witches come back to life.
Give me a break.
Yeah, screw you for caring about teaching and trying to engage your students in a history lesson. Friggin' lame, am I right, guys? Ha! Later, losers.
The super cool skateboard kid.
But I mean, Max over here's got that middle part in his hair and the tie-dye t-shirt over a long sleeve shirt. Like, come on, I would totally subscribe to this guy's newsletter. And like, what are you even drawing here, by the way? Okay, the Grateful Dead. Like, yeah, wait. What is this? Sir, this is a Disney movie made for kids. Explain yourself. But yeah, so Max over here does not care much for Halloween or holidays or anything fun, you know, because caring about stuff's for losers.
But everyone here knows that Halloween was invented by the candy companies. It's a conspiracy. It just so happens that Halloween is based on the ancient feast called All Hallows Eve. It's the one night of the year where the spirits of the dead can return to Earth.
Okay, I'm sorry. Like, why is the entire class cheering right now? Halloween is stupid. Nuh-uh, Halloween's cool. Yeah!
Well said, Allison.
In case Jimi Hendrix shows up tonight, here's my number.
Just right in the middle of class, huh? I mean, okay, I admire the courage, but like, trust me, this never works, okay? In my experience, giving a girl your number in front of everyone or in private or literally any time just never goes well, okay? Don't even try. So this girl's name is Allison, by the way, and then Max just like follows her home from school like some kind of serial killer.
My name is Max Dennison.
Yeah, I know. You just moved here, huh?
Yeah, last week.
Must be a big change for you.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You don't like it here?
I don't know. Just all this Halloween stuff.
Trick or treat.
So feeling dejected, Max rides home and decides to cut through the cemetery, which leads him to meet up with some local ne'er-do-wells who steal his shoes for no particular reason. So yeah, Max is having a real heck of a day, you know what I mean? But finally he gets home and goes up to his room so he can be all cool and emo and stuff.
Oh, Allison.
What?
Oh, Allison. You're so soft.
What is happening right now?
Just wanna...
Danny! I'm Allison. Kiss me, I'm Allison.
No, thank you. So this is Max's little sister, Danny, and she's excited to go trick-or-treating that night, but Max is not having any of that fun and happiness stuff, okay? Pfft, yeah, gross. But of course, as you might imagine, Max's parents make him take Danny out anyway, but like, come on, it's Halloween. How bad could it be?
Lighten up, Max.
Can we go home now?
No.
You know, as an adult, you always kind of forget this, but like when you're a kid, Halloween is just peak anxiety, okay? I mean, it's kind of just like Squid Game for kids. Like, you have a chance to get like 10 pounds of candy, but throughout the night, some high school teens might show up and just murder you.
Stop and pay the toll, kid. 10 chocolate bars, no licorice. Dump out your sack.
Drop dead. Max.
Hollywood! Oh, no! Wait a minute. Everybody pays the toll.
Stuff it, zit face.
Zitface? Are we looking at the same dude? I'm about to ask him for his skincare routine. So in exchange for their lives, they give the ne'er-do-wells all their candy, and the night is just not really going well. That is until they come to some rich person's house down the road.
Wow. Check out this house.
Rich people. They're probably make us drink cider and bob for apples.
Can I just stop here for a second and say that bobbing for apples is like the grossest thing anyone ever invented. But all the same, they decide to head on in and see if they maybe can't get some of those rich people full-size candy bars, you know what I mean? None of that fun-size garbage in this house.
Trick or treat.
Trick or treat.
Jackpot. Whoa.
See, what'd I tell you? Just an entire bowl full of... Wait a second. It's just a bunch of O. Henry bars and half-size 100 grands. Never mind. False alarm. We're leaving.
Max Dennison.
Allison.
I thought you weren't into Halloween.
I'm not. I'm just taking my little sister Danny around.
That's nice.
My parents made them.
Do you guys want some cider?
Yeah, thanks, Allison, but quick question. What the heck is this party? Everyone's dressed up like this. People got masks on. Okay, I've seen Ready or Not and Get Out. Okay, I know exactly where this is going.
So, how's the party?
Boring. It's just a bunch of my parents' friends. They do this every year.
Your parents dress like this every year? Yeah, and then they kidnap local poor kids to sacrifice to Lord Cthulhu at midnight. Yeah, right on, man. Ah, crap.
By the way, Danny, I love your costume.
Thank you. I really like yours too. Of course, I couldn't wear anything like that because I don't have any. What do you call them, Max? Yabos?
Oh.
Max likes your yabos.
Danny, please, I'm begging you. Please stop.
In fact, he loves them.
You know, nothing says 90s kids movie like boob jokes 25 minutes in. Also, I just want to give a quick shout out to Allison here for somehow being completely unfazed by this conversation. So Max, Danny, and Allison get to talking, and they decide to go visit the old Sanderson house. Because Max doesn't believe in any of that nonsense, and oh golly gee, I guess we have to spend all night together so you can change my mind, Allison. So they head on over, and would you believe it's kind of spooky?
This is the spell book of Winifred Sanderson. It was given to her by the devil himself. The book is bound in human skin.
Yeah, okay, that's enough. I'm out.
Black flame candle. Made from the fat of a hangman.
That is one of the foulest things I've ever heard in my life.
Legend says that on a full moon, it will raise the spirits of the dead when lit by a virgin on Halloween night. And do the honors?
No, thanks.
Yeah, come on, Max. Like, she looks like this and lives in a small town with like 40,000 people, okay? Put two and two together. Ain't nothing gonna happen if she lights that candle. So Max decides to light it himself and see what happens, which is kind of a hilarious self-own, by the way. Oh, what's that, Allison? The girl I'm trying to impress? A virgin needs to light the candle? Well, don't mind if I do. But I mean, he does wear tie-dye shirts, so really it's more of an open secret. Winnie Sanderson, my queen has returned. Oh yeah, how do you too, Sarah? That's right, so a virgin lit the candle and now the witches are back to do whatever they were gonna do before. So after a bunch of back and forth and with the help of Thackeray, the black cat who shows up in the middle of all this, they somehow manage to steal the spellbook and escape the witch's house. Which of course means that the three witch sisters have to go out into the world of 1993 and get their spellbook back.
'Tis a black river. Perhaps it is not too deep. 'Tis firm! Careful, Winnie. 'Tis firm as stone.
Why, it's a road!
Firm as stone. Firm as stone.
My book!
And so this brings us to the fish out of water part of the movie where the three sisters are confused by this wacky futuristic 90s world of creepy crawlers, Garfield telephones, every guy had a soul patch for goodness knows what reason.
Bobble.
What is this contraption?
A bus.
And its purpose?
To convey gorgeous creatures such as yourselves to your most forbidden desires.
We desire children.
Hey, that may take me a couple of tries, but I don't think that'd be a problem.
Oh? What was that? This is a kid's movie? Ah yes, 9-year-old Sally. Here, please sit down and watch this movie full of boob jokes and I can't even say what this is referring to. Oh, wow. But then, like, despite their confusion about everything, there's also this part where they go to this, like, adult dance party or whatever, and suddenly they totally understand how dance music and microphones work, but asphalt confuses them? Between you and me, I'm starting to think this movie might not be entirely realistic. Now, while this is all going on, Max, Danny, and Allison have escaped with Thackeray to the local cemetery, where we all get to learn what's really going on here.
Whoa. Come on, this is a grave. It's hollowed ground. Witches can't set foot here.
Oh, wow, okay. But you know, as terrifying as these special effects are, how is the CG from this 1993 movie better than, like, every CW superhero show? Also, I love how these kids are just, like, barely fazed by this talking cat.
It's hollowed ground. Witches can't set foot here. He talks.
Like, first Max gives Allison his number in front of the whole class, and then she's like, huh, that's cool. And then Danny's like, my brother talks about your yabos all the time. Huh, that's weird. And now the witches have come back from the dead, and there's a talking cat, and she's just like, huh, what a wacky night. Like, Allison, come on, you doing okay? Anyway, so then Thackeray lays out some wonderful exposition for everyone.
Winifred's curse of immortality kept me alive. Then one day I figured out what to do with my eternal life. Now, when Winifred and her sisters returned, I'd be there to stop them. So for 3 centuries, I guarded the house on All Hallows Night, when I knew some airhead virgin might light that candle.
Now, we also learned that the witches are only back for Halloween night, and if they can't absorb any child goo or whatever this is, when the sun comes up, they'll be dead forever. And so pretty much the rest of the movie is the Sanderson sisters chasing the main characters all over town trying to get the book back, brought to you by 7-Up. And at one point, like I mentioned earlier, they all kind of converge at this adult Halloween dance party thing. Danny and Max are there to find their parents and tell them what's going on, and Allison's family, I assume, is just too busy with their bloodletting ritual to care either way.
Mom? What are you supposed to be?
Madonna. Well, you know, Well, obviously.
Okay, seriously, how many boob jokes are you gonna put in this kid's movie?
This cat here, Binks, right? He can talk. My brother's a virgin. He lit the black flame candle. The witches are back from the dead and they're after us.
How much candy have you had, honey?
Mom, I haven't OD'd. I haven't even had a piece.
Excuse me? What did she just say?
How much candy have you had, honey?
Mom, I haven't OD'd. I haven't even had a piece.
This girl's like 8 years old. How do you know these words? What kind of life were you kids living back in LA? Anyway, so they end up trapping the witches in the high school clay sculpture kiln. And slight tangent here, but like, what is this sculpture supposed to be, okay? Who made this? So they think the witches are dead because they burned them alive, but turns out they're not, even though hanging them before worked, but incinerating their bodies doesn't for some reason. What are the rules of this movie? So the witches come back and Sarah Sanderson sings a song to brainwash all the kids and, yeah. Remember when I said this movie taught me a lot about myself? Anyway, so basically what ends up happening is Max, Danny, and Allison just kind of run around and fight back against the witches long enough so the sun comes up before they can suck up any of the kids' life energy, bro. And they all turn to stone and then disintegrate into nothing. And so now the witches are finally, totally, definitely, maybe gone forever, and the spell has finally been lifted from Thackeray, and his spirit can be free, or whatever.
The witches are dead. My soul's finally free.
Thackeray Binks!
It's Emily.
Thackeray Binks, what took thee so long?
I'm sorry, Emily. I had to wait 300 years for a virgin to light a candle.
Okay, but like, why you gotta say it like that, though? Like, imagine getting dunked on for being a virgin by some dude named Thackeray. Max saved the world from 3 evil witches and this guy's soul from eternal purgatory or whatever. And the dude's still just like, yeah, but like freaking virgin though, am I right? Also, you're from like the 1600s, okay? Like what, you telling me back then you were just pounding that sliz left and right? But yeah, so the day has finally been saved, Max and Allison get together, and that's pretty much where the movie ends. So yeah, much like other movies from the time, like Home Alone 1 and 2, Matilda, Blank Check, you know, like this is one of those kids movies that watching back as an adult, it's like watching a completely different movie. Like 90s Disney just did not care. But to be fair, aside from everything I just said, I do think overall the movie actually holds up a lot better than you'd think. Like horrifying cat CG and general slapstick and boob jokes aside, like it's actually pretty watchable. And then like I said, 29 years after this movie came out, Disney's making Hocus Pocus 2, which comes out on Disney Plus on September 30th. So guess what video I'll be making right around that time. No, I just want to make it clear, just like with my Matilda video, like, I'm not saying that this is a horribly offensive movie that, you know, it's like, oh my goodness, I can't believe they made this. It's one of those things where, you know, as a kid, you watch and you like something and you're like, oh, what a fun, wholesome thing I liked when I was a child. And then you go back and you watch it as an adult and you're just like, oh my goodness, this is not at all what I remember this movie. It's like Matilda, when like when you're a kid, you're like, oh, the magical girl is so cool. I like books too. And then as an adult, you go back and watch Matilda, and like that movie is horrifying. And like in Hocus Pocus, you got this 8-year-old girl talking to a 17-year-old girl about her boobs. Like I don't know, it's just weird. It's just weird on a lot of levels, okay? And like everyone is so obsessed with the main character being a virgin for some reason. You know, it's like okay. And again, this is a kids movie, but like I said, back in the 90s, like there was just no rules. Like nobody cared. Like whenever I talk to my parents or like any older adult, you know, and they'll say things like all this like kid stuff nowadays is so weird and strange and I don't get it. And I mean, to be fair, you know, Gen Z, Gen Alpha humor is very weird, but also it's like, I don't know, like in the 90s when I was a kid, things were equally as weird, just in a different way. Like go back, you watch like Red and Stimpy, Matilda, you know, any of this stuff, and you're just like, who thought this was like good for kids, you know? I mean, like no wonder we're all so messed up. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, everybody. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, ring that bell, leave a like, leave a comment, all that stuff. Send me an email at alexmyerscontact@gmail.com. Let me know what movies or TV shows you think I should check out next. And above all else, everybody have a great day, and I'll see you all next time.